Hey guys, so this is Mala's Tarot and we're back to do another excuse me, tarot roulette. Who are we reading for now? Let's find out who we're reading for now. Libra. Get rid of them. And it says consideration, fairness and harmony. So we've got the scales of justice there. So there may be something that you're doing where you try to balance something out. We've got this rocky mountain in the background here that I can see. So there may be this element of what's going on with you right now. It may be that you've been going through a tough time and now you're getting to a point where you're seriously looking at it, you're seriously going over it, and it's time to balance it out. You've got the sun and the moon there in the scale, so it's like kind of having to find balance through the dark and the light, try to find the light in the darkness, and likewise. So it's like knowing that even even when things are not particularly going our way, and not even when we feel like things are like really on a down, it's like the idea of like this wheel of fortune as well. And it's like when things seem like they're always dark, there may be a reason for it, although we don't always see or understand the reason for it at the time. Later in life we tend to come by a reason why we might feel or think this, but there's this element here of try to find the balance. And if you're finding that things are just constantly kind of going down, it's like looking at it, actually looking at the situation and finding out why is everything always seeming to go wrong in situations, so that you can work through it and get beyond it. So let's get you some tarot on this. So the Six of Pentacles. We have the Chariot. We have Judgment. We have the Strength reversed. Push these up a little bit. The Seven of Swords. We have the Devil in reverse, and we have the Five of Swords in reverse. Okay. Okay, so this situation could be to do with money. It could be to do with it. I mean, when we think of Pentacles, it's not always to do with money. This can just be like giving you energy to people. This could be, when I think of Pentacles, someone once said, think of Pentacles as boons, and it's anything that you can gift, anything that you can, it can be, it can be the tangible, like the home, work, finances, but it can also be anything that you can gift, like your energy, like your time, like your advice and stuff like that. So it may be that you're in a situation where you're feeling like you're constantly handing over to other people, or you're constantly, people constantly seek you out and seek you out for something, anything, just even if it's just your energy, but it may not be in a fair way. Like if you reach out to them, or if you need a little bit of help, it's like they're nowhere to be seen. So there could be something like that going on. Excuse me. Especially with the Judgment here, this might be you with this balancing out, this like fairness and consideration and harmony. This might be you needing to pull back your energy a little bit instead of overgiving all the time, and deciding like you're going to do what's right for you now. But there's this consideration that's on here, which is the Judgment. We always have to decide, like when we're facing the Judgment, it's like, do we stay where we are or do we move on? And we get the choice. We always get the choice. It's down to us. But then the repercussions of the actions that we take. So if we decide we're going to close something out and then move forward, then we decide to close it out and move forward, and we go roll with the punches and see what comes. If we decide, though, I mean, we've got this hourglass kind of shape here that makes me think, like, if we spend too much time thinking about things, you know, opportunities may pass us by. But not only that, if we decide that we're going to stay where we are, and we're continuing to have people take, and we're finding ourselves constantly in the same situations, then we've decided that we've decided that we're going to stay where we are. And in doing so, we're kind of letting the universe know that we're quite happy with the way that things are and the way that, how unbalanced things may be. But with this Chariot, excuse me, with this Chariot here, it gives a nod to the fact that you're ready to move on. It's like it's almost like, yeah, these horses are going in all different directions, and it looks all a bit chaotic, but it's not to say that moving beyond a situation is going to be straightforward. It's not to say it's going to be pretty or elegant. You know, sometimes moving on is messy. Sometimes breaking away and moving out of situations is messy. And it's like learning to, you know, have a method in your madness. Make sure that you are fully committed and fully focused on what it is that you're doing. If you're moving on from a situation, focus on that. Don't keep dilly-dallying back to the situation, which is something that we can get with the Judgment card, where we go, right, and we get an opportunity to move out of a situation, but then we go, I'm not sure if I'm ready. And then we stay in it, and then we're annoyed that we're still getting the same treatment. So there's that kind of energy there as well. But there is a need to, you know, if you feel like things are not, if you're trying to move beyond something and you feel like it's not like going the way that you would hope or that you would want, you need to dedicate your time to focusing. Because only when we seriously focus with true intention will we move this Chariot in the direction that we want it to move. When we let our thoughts be clouded, or when we let our thoughts be jumbled, and we start second guessing what we're doing, that's when we end up in a situation where we're kind of spinning on our axis and we're not going anywhere fast because everything's kind of going in different directions. So you need to focus your attention, focus your drive to what it is that you're wanting to do, and push yourself forward and move forward with it. It's this card here it's almost like it's letting you know that it's all in your mind. It's kind of like a mind over matter in a situation. So it's like once you get your head focused and you decide and you make a decision to move beyond this, then you will move beyond this. But until then, it's down to you. It's down to you not committing, shall we say, to the action that you're wanting to take. You may be second guessing. I feel like there's an element of second guessing yourself with things here, especially with the Strength reverse. So it may be people in your life. This may be people in your life, maybe a job. It could be anything really. But it may be people in your life that you may feel like you may advocate your power over to them a little bit, especially with the Devil here in reverse. But I feel like you're going to be pulling your power back. I feel like you're going to be pulling your energy back. I feel like with the Devil in reverse here, this is taking control over something and not allowing yourself to be. We can become addicted to a lot of things, and sometimes we can it can be like people and situations that we find ourselves in that maybe if we did break away from it, if we do move away from it, then we're not going to have nobody, and the idea that we might then not have nobody, or that we might not have friends, or that we might be stuck without a job, or that we don't know what the future holds, this can have us tied to it. It's like it can create like a trauma bond to it, where it's fear that kind of keeps us, fear of the unknown that kind of keeps us where we are. With this strength in reverse, though, this is saying that it's almost like you want to move forward, but something keeps pulling you back. And it may be this idea that I don't know why a song's just come in my head. Is it because we're scared to be lonely? Is the only reason you're holding me tonight because we're scared to be lonely? So it's almost like if you might feel like if you stand your ground or put up boundaries in situations, that people will pull away from you and you'll have nothing. Even in a job, you might feel like if you voice a discontentment about something, that you might put yourself in a position where you'll be on the chopping block and you'll be stuck. So it's like you're kind of tied to it. For negative reasons, though. It's like it's a fear-based energy, that. And this could be to do with past experiences, traumas, things that we've not worked through. But there's this idea of handing over, especially with the devil, handing over, almost like living out, allowing other people to dictate the direction of our life, and not opening our mouths. And what am I getting? It's like not opening our mouths and speaking up for ourselves, and just allowing the status quo to keep the status quo. See, somebody might not have the best intentions towards you, but at the same time, I feel like you're in this energy. I feel like it's you in this energy. Because with this card, there's the 3 swords there, which is the hurt. So you might be someone that kind of deals with people, gets upset, backs off, takes a break, removes yourself from it for a little bit, but then you kind of get pulled back into it. So it's like you keep going back. You keep going back to what is hurting you, or what is causing you stress or anxiety or worry. And there's no real indication here as to why you would keep going back. But there is, with swords, there's no clear indication, I should say. But with the swords card here, this makes me feel it's because of how you think, how your mind works. It may be, and I feel like it's something to do with a fear of kind of standing in your power in a situation. Because it's almost like if you stand up for yourself, or if you have any kind of demands or anything like that, or if you say, look, or boundaries, you say, look, no, or even if it's someone borrowing money off you, let's put it in an analogy like this. If someone's borrowing money off you and then you go, sorry, no, I can't, they might be very slow if ever give it back, and you might go like, no, you might be wanting to say, no, I can't do this. I mean, this could be someone's kid. This could be speaking about someone's kid, coming and borrowing, and you may be bailing them out a lot. And it's like they're never learning, and they'll just keep coming back and coming back. But if you turn around and say, sorry, no, then they might have a hissy fit and disappear out your life. And it's that there's something that keeps pulling you back into the energy and keeps you going, even though you might not even be in a position where you can keep giving and keep bailing out someone. Or it may be, if it's friends, you might not be in a position where you can keep doing for others when they've got no intention of doing for you, or they're just there when they need something. But there's a fear, and it's something to do with the way that you're thinking about it. It's always like if you put up a boundary, you feel like they'll back off and then you'll have no one. And it's that kind of feeling with it. But with this devil reversed here, I feel like you will be pulling your energy back. You will be eventually getting this chariot under control. You will get your focus straight. You'll stand true to yourself, because you can only give what you can give. You can only give over what you can give over. And if you're constantly being taken from and taken from and taken from, and it's never, nothing's ever returned, even if it's just energy, even if it's just like being there for someone or something like that, and it's never returned to you, there's going to be a burnout. You're going to spend yourself. It's like your energy, even if it's energy, your energy is going to be spent. So you need to pull back. And I feel like there is a point where you are going to do this. You're going to get your head, you're going to consider it. You're going to consider it very, very carefully, because with the hourglass here, I feel like you're going to take your time. But don't take too much time. See, we like to sit and think and ponder on these things. And then sometimes we wait too long in the moment for something, especially if it's like leaving a job and going after a different job, or if it's pulling back or doing something. Sometimes we leave it too long and we miss the opportunity. It's like the opportunity just passes us by. It'll pass us by because we can start to procrastinate. It's like it's asleep in there. We can start to procrastinate. But if you decide and you actually put your energy into it, you're going to be moving away from a lot of the toxicity here. There's a toxic, and even if this was like a family member, if it was a child, or even if it's your pet, it could be the other way around, couldn't it? I know some people who it is the other way around, where it's like the child is the parent in a situation, and even it is, if it's toxic regardless of who it is, and you have to have boundaries. And if someone pulls away from you because you're not handing over your power to them, or you're not being at their beck and call, or you're not laying down everything for them and getting nothing in return, or you're bailing them out of situations constantly and you're getting no thanks for it, you're going to spend your energy. You're the one that's going to end up in a bad place. You need to pull your energy back from that, regardless of who it is. There's this, what I keep saying, regardless of who it is. And if they pull away from you having a hissy fit, I mean, it's almost like they've got no right to. Let them do it. Let them do it. Let them go off and let them learn. Don't you stress yourself about not having. Give yourself the peace. If it's going to pull away, it might be upsetting, it might hurt. But let them pull away, let them learn to stand on their own 2 feet. And maybe when you pull away, you will see a change in the behaviour. Maybe they'll start to appreciate you a bit more when they're not getting your energy, when they're not getting your time, when they're not getting this, when they're not getting that from you. They might actually start to appreciate you more. So they may pull away initially, but I feel like they may come back. Especially with this 5 of Swords in reverse, I feel like they may, I feel like they probably will pull away. It will be like a temper tantrum. They'll pull away. They will be back. They're going to learn. Yeah, we do this and we do that. We say things, we act this way, we behave this way, and we stomp our feet to get what we want, or we use and abuse people, or we take and take and take with the 5 of Swords. We take and take and take, but in the end up, it's left us with nothing. It's actually left us with nothing. And I feel like they will be realizing this, that the behavior or whatever it is that they've done has resulted in them. Yeah, maybe they've, they might have gained something from you. They may have gained something from you, but it's a very lonely place to be, and they're going to miss your energy. What I will say is, when they do come back, or if they do come back, make sure you keep your boundaries up. Make sure, because there is this idea of a break here. There's moving away from the toxicity. You've got the 3 swords up here. You've got the 4 in the hand, moving away. The 4 of Swords is always about having a rest. It's retreating, removing ourselves from something. So this could be speaking to you, removing yourself from something that is hurting you. that is hurting you, and it's going to hurt you as well. The moving away, it's a horrible place to be, especially if you're attached, or I could only imagine if it was like your kid or something like that. You know, you've got that emotional pull there, but there's a need for it. There's a great need for it. What I'll say is, if they do come back, or when they do come back, only accept them in your environment if there is changed behavior, because it's okay to be sorry, but we have to then demonstrate change behavior. So there's, and getting that feeling very strong. Don't let them feel it, come back, and then continue on the cycle. Learn that you're closing this cycle out and you're not allowing it anymore, and then move yourself forward from it. And yeah, there might be a period where you might be a bit estranged, you might be on your own, you might be, you know, having to retreat yourself from someone, or someone might be retreating from you. But I feel like it will create a changed behavior. However, if they come back and you're still in the same energy of, they're going to ask, or they're going to chant something, and then you're just going to bow down or keep giving, I feel like they'll just run with it, they'll roll with it. So make sure that you hold yourself accountable. Make sure you can look in the mirror and say that you're doing your bit in the situation to change it. Because I feel like when they do come back, it's going to be down to you holding ground. It's going to be down to you holding your ground with it. And this is element here that maybe you let your emotions, you let things take control. Basically, you may be feared of, you know, if they come back, you might be happy that they come back, and then you're feared of them going away again or something like that, and then, you know, you kind of advocate your power again. So it's like, kind of make sure that you stay true to yourself. Make sure you can look in the mirror and say that you wanted change behavior, and you got change behavior because you stood strong and you did what you had to do, and you held yourself accountable for your part in it, in allowing it to get to a place where it was in the first place. Because when we can sit back and say people are taking advantage of us, work taking the piss out of us, and or friends they only phone me when they need something, and we can say things like, but it's us that's allowing that behavior. It is us that is allowing that behavior in the first place, and it wouldn't be happening if we weren't. So we've got to recognize that and be able to stand true to ourselves. And there's this idea as well with the scales, with the sun and the moon there. You can't be all lightness in someone's life. Being all overly nice all the time can get you trodden on. So you have to have that balance. And it's a very Libra thing to have balance. But sometimes, you know, circumstances, past traumas, past events, things, everybody's at liberty to fall into a pattern of behavior, or or have something affect them in a way where it can change behavior, and they can be, you know, they can be overly nice, they can be the one that everybody kind of goes to and all that, and they don't like conflict. So they'll get to a place where they don't like conflict, so they don't want to have boundaries or stand the ground or anything. But you have to have that balance, and it's a very Libra thing to have that balance. So it's getting back into your element. I feel like it's more like getting back into your element than maybe something that's gone on, which has just changed the way that you are over time. But it's just finding yourself again, getting back into your element. Get one of these. Ooh. Flying away there. So we've got vitality. This is just to close out the reading. Vitality. Vitality is the beaming force that gives energy and vigor to life. And I feel like that might be something that you are lacking at the moment. That might be something. When we get into situations, I mean, you could do it with like kind of partners and stuff like that, where that expression is something sucking the life right out of you. And we all, at some point, will be in a situation where something is just, is literally just sucking the life right out of us. But we don't step back from it. We don't remove ourselves from it. We're staying there for so long. There will come a point. There always is. There's always some kind of trigger. Sorry, I'm bouncing the camera, or some kind of turning point where we're pretty much spent. You know, it could be like you just like you've got absolutely nothing else to give, and it's you know, this situation will play out anyway. So it's like kind of get control in the situation, get a bit of control in the situation, because we all get to this place and we let something suck the life out of us, and then we lose interest in other things in life, or we're walking around with stress and anxiety, worry, we've got things constantly on our mind, and then we just lose the zest for life. We can lose the zest for life, and it doesn't matter how happy we are, or you know, anybody can suffer with mental health in the form of like kind of feeling down, feeling stressed, feeling worried, especially if you're worrying about monies and stuff like that, or you're worrying about someone who's constantly in trouble, who constantly seems to be in trouble, or somebody else's mental health can, especially if we're dealing with somebody else's mental health, it can affect our mental health in ways. And it's just about, sometimes we have to learn boundaries. Sometimes we have to learn boundaries to be able to step ourselves back. And although it may feel hard, and you may feel like you may feel it really pulling on your emotions. There's not very many emotion cards out here. I mean, the Chariot is a water sign, but you may feel it pulling on your emotions. You might be finding it very hard. But in the end, when you do this and you remove yourself and you get the change behavior and you change the pattern in your life that is bringing you down and sucking the life out of you, you're going to find your zest for life again. But it's making sure that you stay true to whatever boundaries that you put up. So when people do come back, or when situations do come back around, that you are not going to be back in a position where you're just overgiving again. Okay, I'm going to leave that one there.